Hello, 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 and welcome back to more Pokemon Null, here for it. We are attempting a hardcore Nuzlocke. I don't know that I'm built for this, but we'll never know unless we try. So, we're on attempt 4, and we have reached Roxanne's gym. Now, we've got two, as of yet unacquired encounters available to us and one death. We've got one death on in the box here. We lost Scovillain, Larry David the Scovillain, to our very first double battle on the bridge. It was kind of a coin flip as to whether or not in the turn they would be surviving or not, and we lost that coin flip, but in doing so, we won the match. It was a calculated risk of sorts, and as far as I've been able to glean from other people playing in the Pokemon Null Discord, this doesn't seem like that significant of a loss. I wish we hadn't lost anything before the first gym, but that's the way the cookie crumbled. So, more recent pickups here are Nicole Kidman, the Berserker, I think is our latest pickup. And, yes, Michael B. Jordan, the Hitmonchan. Those are our most recent pickups. So, I'm streaming Pokemon Null, for a lot of reasons. I don't know that I'm going to beat this game. I don't know how far I'm going to get into this game before I decide I'm just not built for this kind of nuzlocking. But what I do know is that when I don't stream, I don't commit. I don't have two screens, two monitors. I don't look at the calculators. I don't look at the open team sheets for every single trainer. I don't plan every line ahead of time and all my held items and yada yada yada. But when I am on stream, I kind of feel a sense of duty to myself and anyone who might watch someday to play with integrity and to play well. And so a little bit I'm playing this difficulty hack, not knowing whether or not I have the fortitude to finish it on stream, because I feel like if it's ever gonna happen, it's gonna happen on stream. If I ever do see one of these difficulty hacks to their real conclusion, it's gonna happen because I'm playing with you guys here on YouTube, and I don't want you to I don't know, make fun of me or be mad at me for like lying and rewinding and save scumming like I do in my personal runs off a stream. So that's where we're at with it. I'm imagining though that, you know, these streams are maybe not the most fun thing in the world to watch. I get that I'm spending a lot of time staring at calculators and stuff. But that's just where we're at now. That's just the kind of game this is. And you know, that's how it is. That's how it is. Okay, so we got to go up against Youngster Josh. Youngster Josh is the first trainer we got to fight in this here gym. Now, yeah, special defense is not Cloth's strong suit, but they are not slow, is something to keep in mind. So we've got not the most wide variety of special attackers. We'll put everyone on display here. Yeah, Cloth is weirdly fast. 75 base speed. 77 speed stat. Youngster Josh is here. We'll just put Larry David in the party for now, just so we can see a full display of who's on offer. I would say we're looking at, they have a set of Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Rock Slide, Crab Hammer. I mean, certainly you gotta think they're trying to set up those Stealth Rocks. So it would behoove us not to let them, but we're, like I said, so we're dealing with a 77 speed stat. Electabuzz does Well, I mean, what does a low kick do? How heavy is cloth? Less than half. I imagine Ribombee is, yeah, certainly faster. Ribombee, I can't imagine is doing much, though, either. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam, 42 at most. We could maybe try to get a fake out. I don't think we're definitely not outspeeding, so this isn't ideal either. But I am curious to see what a low sweep looks like. It would do better than others. It's the most damage I've seen yet. What about Berserker? What does a Berserker do? Not too much. Check out Swampert here in a second. I feel like well, Triage. Triage would make Mega Drain priority if that hits hard enough. Ah, damn. Only hits for 67 to 80%. So we definitely get Stealth Rocks up, but we could take the KO before he does any real damage. The worst that could happen is a Rock Slide crit, which could only do a little more than half, and then we'd heal a good deal of that back. If it didn't get a crit, we'd heal, almost guaranteed heal all the damage on, well, no, we wouldn't heal all the damage on the next turn because we'd be draining less. Well, that is unless we did a Draining Kiss first and then went for the Mega Drain on the next turn, but then we're not guaranteed the kill. So I think that, yeah, like, if he hits us and we hit a Mega Drain, like, we have priority on our healing moves because of our ability Triage. So if he hits us, then that means he didn't put up Stealth Rocks, but we end the turn with some damage. At most, a little more than half, 54%. And then on the next turn, we'd get a guaranteed priority kill with a second Mega Drain, and there'd be no Stealth Rocks up. So the more likely case is that we just get 2 Mega Drains off, he gets off 1 Stealth Rock, and we go into the next match with no damage. I'm looking at Swallow Stockpile, Baton Pass, Play Rough Mawile with Intimidate and Leftovers. I'm looking at Corsola, Ancient Power Scald, Blizzard something. It's got a Rindo Berry. Let's make sure. Let's go take a look at what a Rindo Berry does. Wrong search bar. Rindo Berry. I imagine it weakens grass. Yeah. Yeah, it weakens a grass move. Super effective grass move. So, and Blizzard doesn't do much to us, though. So even with the Rindo Berry, we're taking almost half with a Mega Drain. So that's a guaranteed 2-shot. Mawile, we don't have a good use case into. But it isn't... well, Armaldo would mess us up. That would probably be who comes in next, is Armaldo. Armaldo, we're looking at Aqua Jet, Bug Bite, Rock Tomb, Seismic Toss. And we only have one Intimidate user. It's our Masquerain. It would be very vulnerable to the Rock Tomb. We got Battle Armor, Adamant, Citrus Berry, Armaldo that we're looking at. So let's see. Aqua Jet, Bug Bite, Rock Tomb, Seismic Toss. Yeah. Swampert seems like a good answer into this. Some crits. Even with Stealth Rock Chip, we're never dead to any crits upon the switch. And we're a little faster. So Aqua Jet, let's see here. If we came in, max roll Bug Bite crit, 50%. Stealth Rocks do how much? Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rock percentage damage. 1/8. With damage scaling from 6.25, 1/16 for 4 times resistance to 50 for 4 times weakness. So, oh no, okay. Well, we do a regular resistance, so it should be 1/16 of our HP. We'll round that up to 7%. 7% plus the max roll, 50% plus the 22 max roll would be 79, even rounded up, 80%. So we should always be able to come in and get off a Scald or a Waterfall, which should take care of a lot of the damage. 80%. And even if they did like totally max roll, the only thing that could possibly get us at that point would be like... No, that's the math I just did. If we came in on a Bug Bite and then the Aqua Jet. Yeah, so we're fine. So, Swampert. So we got Deborah Winger in the lead, followed by Swampert. I think Alan Alda seems like a natural bring. Let's just make sure he doesn't take too much like Blizzard damage from Corsola. Yeah, at most like 30%. A Seed Bomb, even with the Rindo Berry, has a chance to kill, so we do a Seed Bomb or two, and we are faster, so that's a great bring. And then Mawile, how do we want to deal with this Mawile? Swallow, Stockpile, Baton Pass, Play Rough. So we have like a special grass attacker to protect both like against the Baton Passing to Cloth or Corsola here and then for our Maldo, Scald does just as much damage as Waterfall does from Swampert, so we have a special option. So I'm not really worried about Mawile at all. I think that yeah, an Incinerate goes crazy and a Play Rough can barely do 15% to it. Yeah, so this squad should be more than enough to take care of youngster Josh. I'd say some backup options, some good backup options. I mean, what are we even really scared of? I'd say Armaldo is the most threatening thing. Priority Aqua Jet, Adamant, the Citrus Berry. I feel like pretty good about our ability into it, but what does... Yeah, I would say Hitmonchan's interesting because we can get into Fake Out for Chip. We're a little faster. Low Sweep does a decent amount of damage. And then maybe, you know, Rock Tomb, Bug Bite, Aqua Jet. I mean, this is another one that I think... Yeah, and a Metal Claw goes crazy. We can get a Fake Out off if need be, or even a Screech. I think this is a perfectly good team to bring into this first gym battle. I think we've got a great plan, and we're not risking very much at all. Because, like, even with the crits I measured, we're looking great. And we're bringing 2 Pokemon that can't get crit between... our starter, Alan Alda the Chestnut, and Betty Davis the Macargo. Our first actual pickup, Betty Davis here. I kind of scoffed, too. I didn't realize that we had a can't get crit Pokemon on our hands. But let's go. I think this goes just fine. Youngster Josh. Okay. We got a really clear-cut plan. We just hit Mega Drain. Crossing my fingers, we get Giga Drain right after the level cap. Oh my god! Was that in the calcs? I think it might have been, actually. Actually, I don't think it was. Oh. Singles, none. What was I looking at? I feel like that was doing less. Oh, you know why? I accidentally had Sandstorm weather conditions set. I changed it on another one and then didn't check again. I mean, that was a roll, but it was a roll highly in our favor for the one shot. So that makes this even easier. Excellent stuff, Deborah. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing we were scared of, but like I said, I feel like Christian Bale here is more than capable of bailing us out. Bug Bite. Don't do nothing. We go for the Scald, because the Scald and the Waterfall can do pretty similar damage, and I'd rather go for the Burn than the Flinch. Because if he decides to hit Aqua Jet on this next turn, the Burn keeps us safer than a Flinch that turn does. I mean, look at that. Nothing. Like it's nothing. This is a pretty easy fight. That's good. I do think they get progressively harder as you go deeper in to the gym here. Now, the plan here was definitely to bring in Macargo, but that was kind of more in the thought of being off the field. Okay, so a Play Rough crit can definitely kill from this range. It's somewhat unlikely. Yeah, not even every crit kills. It would have to be like a very high roll crit, because the max damage is 50.4%, and our HP right now, we're sitting at 48% here. We're a little faster. A Scald would be pretty cool. Scald does more than half. Scald's a guaranteed 2-shot. But again, we're already at risk of Play Rough crit. And this is probably one of our better Pokemon. So I think it's certainly the right call to just bring in Betty Davis. Even with the Corsola still on the field. Yeah, Play Rough's going to do nothing. And we can't get crit. So that's great. I'd say, I definitely want to go for the Incinerate. I mean, worst case scenario, they bring Corsola in, we don't do that much damage, and then we can switch in Arboliva and just handle it and come back and go from there. And best case scenario, they just stick in and try to hit Stockpile anyway, even though it's not going to save them. Oh, it does increase their special defense. Okay. I wasn't sure of that. Still not super concerned. Now, if they Baton Pass with one special defense boost, that really shouldn't do that much. I still think... Let me see what the calc is Incinerate into Corsola. It's pretty bad, yeah. I was like, it's probably going to do less than 10%. What do we think? Are they going to press Baton Pass this turn? I kind of think they will. That would be my guess. And what happens if we bring in Arboliva on a +1/+1 Mawile? We can... I mean... we can triage Mega Drain to get around one special defense boost for at least 19%, and then another 13%. I would say that that should cover if they choose to stay in. And if they don't choose to stay in and they do Baton Pass, then we'll be in on this Corsola with a +1 special defense. Even with a +1 special defense, our Mega Drain, even with their Rindo Berry, should do well over... you know, has as good a chance to doing more than 50% as it does. It's 46 to 54, so it's right there in the middle. And then the Rindo Berry would be eaten up, and we would triage priority, eat them up on the next turn. So I think, yeah, the plan is to bring in Deborah Winger, the Arboliva here, and hope they go, okay, another Stockpile. They don't have Spit Up. That would be the really scary thing, is if they had, like, Spit Up to, like, punish us, but they don't. So they've got +2 special defense now, and we have Mega Drain. Priority Mega Drains. That should hit decently hard. What does Echoed Voice look like on the next turn if we do it? God. It really does add up. I like Echoed Voice a lot. We'll go for Mega Drain. Hope they go for the Baton Pass. Swallow. Okay. I forgot about Swallow. Like, forgot that it can heal him up like that. Well, in this case, then I think they're really just delaying the inevitable. I think, like, we just go back to Macargo. Yeah, bring Betty Davis in. Hopefully they go for, like, another stockpile. We hit... Or Play Rough, which we eat for breakfast, and we have Recover on our side. I think now the plan is let's get a Yawn off. Let's see how they respond to that. If they switch on the Yawn, I'd be curious to know if Baton Pass doesn't pass the Yawn. Because I know it passes other negative effects. Like Confusion and stuff like that. So I would not be shocked if it passed Drowsiness as well. So what we'll do here... is, yeah, Recover. Oh, excellent. So they're just going to let him fall asleep. I love that for us. Betty Davis will be at full health. That puts us in a great position to just hit Incinerate. Even through these, like, special defense buffs, like I said, they have no real way to do any kind of significant damage to us. And if they choose to switch now, which I thought was unlikely... you know, we would just switch for Corsola and they'd be asleep. Oh my god, yeah, even with the stockpile. Doesn't do nothing. So as long as they don't wake up and pass off. Okay, they do the Baton Pass. Even still, I think they only got one special defense buff up since the last Swallow. And Betty Davis burned the berry, which means Deborah Winger as long. Ooh, I should have put an Aspire Berry. That's the oversight here. Should have put an Aspire Berry. But yeah, good point. Very unlikely they were ever going to hit Blizzard into. And now we're safe from freeze. Perfect. The burn. Yeah, that'd probably be just as helpful. I think this is 100% kill range. Yeah. Oh, with the crit to boot. Deborah. I don't know if you like Debbie. And again, I think there's just no reason not to switch right on back to Betty Davis the Macargo. It's going to be a bumpy ride for you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh no, they stockpiled one. What's gonna happen? I'm fast forwarding. This is uneventful. You're gonna burn up. Boom. Good work, team. Heal up. Alright, let's move on to the next trainer. There's 3 before Roxanne. Who scares the shit out of me? Roxanne scares the shit out of me. Okay, we got Covert Cloak, Sturdy, Trick Room, Teleport, Carbink. So clearly the idea here is they want to get up Trick Room and they defy you to stop them. We've got an unflinchable, un-one-hit KO-able Carbink in the lead. What they don't have... Wait a second. Covert Clerk. I do that all the time. I say... Covert Cloak makes me say cloak like Medea. Covert Clerk. Does Covert Cloak prevent Taunt? It does not block Taunt. That's what I thought. It just blocks the secondary effects. So, like, for Fake Out, the flinch is secondary to the priority damage hit that you get. So, that means as long as Berserker is faster than this guy's Carbink, which I would really hope. 52-50. We taunt the Carbink. Perfect. That's a great way to start this fight. Then, I don't know, I gotta imagine they probably want to switch out from there. If they don't switch out and they struggle, we just hit Iron Head, or Metal Claw, rather. We don't have Iron Head yet. In any event, we hit Metal Claw, and we're doing damage to whatever comes in. If it's Rockhead, Life Orb, Sudowoodo, it's coming in and taking about a third at least, a little more than a third minimum. If they switch in Alolan Golem, they're taking about 18 at most, 15 at least. So, you know, like a sixth, about a sixth. If they switch in Shuckle, they're taking probably closer to a third, 28 to 37. So yeah, like no matter what, we just hit Metal Claw, and either we get a big chunk of damage in on this taunted Carbink, or we chip something else that switches in. Now, we can stay in on some of these guys. For instance, if Shuckle comes in and we hit it with Metal Claw, and it comes back at us with Earthquake, we can't get crit. Berserker can't get crit. Most it can do is a little less than a fifth. 19.4 is max roll. Power Trick. Power Trick switches defenses and offenses, right? That's the point of Power Trick. Users own attack and defense switch. So it's just the physical. Which means, let's say he comes in, we hit him for about a third. Let's go minimum. Let's say we hit him for a quarter damage. He's got 75%, which is impossible. It'd be lower, but he's 75%. Then on the next turn, we hit Metal Claw again. We get another 25, which is still less than... We hit a minimum, they have 50% damage left. And then they choose to use Earthquake. We're totally safe. If they choose to use Power Trick, then on the next turn, no matter what, we kill. So Shuckle, we stay in on Shuckle. We always stay in on Shuckle. That's not a problem. Then... we always outspeed and kill with with that as well. Shuckle becomes scary if it gets off a Power Trick when we're not in a position to stop it. If it had 230 attack stat, actually even with a 230 attack stat, as long as we can avoid coming in on an Earthquake, Berserker can always still come in and then outspeed and one-shot with a Metal Claw. So that's interesting. Cool. So Berserker is pretty good into that. Here's something to be a little scared of, is the Alolan Golem, but I feel like Swampert's got to be... yeah, a really good answer to this. And Takedown can't hurt us because of the Galvanize ability, which turns it into an electric type move, which means the worst thing it can do to us is Earthquakes. Now, a crit Earthquake does as much as 55%. So if we come in on a non-crit Earthquake, we can always survive the second one, get off a Bulldoze, and we always outspeed. So I feel like, yeah, if we come in on, as long as we don't come in on an Earthquake crit, and even if we do, it would still have to do a certain amount of damage before we're actually at risk. We can always just hit a Bulldoze and kill. So yeah, Swampert is the answer. So let's see here. Nicole Kidman, the Berserker, you're always in the lead. Swampert, you back us up. What about this Sudowoodo? Obviously, Woodhammer fucks us up. Head Smash, Woodhammer, Double Edge, Seismic Toss. So... that Head Smash is devastating against the wrong guys. Okay, yeah, that's the answer there. Chestnut tanks all of this stuff fine. We can't get crit. The most he can do is 41.2% with Double Edge. He doesn't get any recoil because of the Rockhead ability, but he does have a Life Orb, which means that he'll be taking Chip, and We outspeed for sure, because this Trick Room is not going up. That's a big part of this, is that we are taunting the Trick Room, and we just have to try to avoid it coming up so that we can outspeed. But even still, we come in, get hit with 41 takedown, or double edge rather, get hit again if Trick Room's up for 41. We're at 82, so we got, you know, we take them for well over half of their damage, and they've taken 2 rounds of Life Orb chip with either Seed Bomb or Brick Break. We can also delay with Spiky Shield, delay turns of Trick Room there. So I think that Chestnut puts us in really good shape. And the fact that the Carbink has Covert Cloak over Trick Room means that Trick Room would only last for the regular amount of turns. It doesn't have one of those, like, movesets that expands the amount of time that it takes. Now, let's see, what does Sudowoodo do to Arboliva? Head Smash crit, guaranteed kill. Arboliva Mega Drain does 82 to 98% damage. Prio damage. I mean, it's pretty good. I think we bring, yeah, I think Deborah Winger's a good bring. Let me look at this. I think that scary stuff to bring is stuff that's overly vulnerable to rock or electric moves. I do think a little bit that we might find ourselves in a position where having not just an Intimidate user, but an Earthquake immunity could be handy. Man, this thing dies to almost everything. It's a really, really stupid bring. Our Intimidate user is trash. We got a bad one. You're guaranteed an Intimidate user at the beginning of the game, but we probably rolled the very worst one, for being so real. Who's our slowest Pokemon? Let's take a look at that, because maybe we can outslow them in the event that they do get Trick Room up. Garganacl. Garganacl is slower than their Carbink. It's faster than the Shuckle. It's slower than their Alolan Golem. It's slower than their Sudowoodo. And we can do some damage, certainly. Our Garganacl having a minus defense nature is less than ideal, certainly. It's not very good into the Sudowoodo. It's a little better into... Yeah, it's not a good bring. It's not. Gary Oldman can't get crit, but it also has a pretty trash defense stat, and is, yeah, just weak to so many of these moves. I almost feel like this is the gang. Like, this is the squad to bring. I don't think I want anything that's weak to rock, and basically everything left in the box is either weak to rock, weak to rock or ground moves, and therefore kind of in a tricky position. Now, Shuckle, Earthquake, Leech Life, Rock Slide. Shuckle versus the Electabuzz, especially after it uses Power Trick, like, I think Electabuzz could do pretty good here. I mean, we're vulnerable to Earthquake, certainly, but after a Power switch, Power Trick, Thunder Punch kills every time. I feel like we want like one flying type Pokemon to maybe like get around Earthquakes, like to make sure that they don't press Earthquake. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like This is a shitty situation. And it's making me wonder if we shouldn't maybe get one of those encounters that we have available to us. We can either fish up a fossil encounter or relicanth north of here. We can go back and guarantee ourselves, a dark type Pokemon in Petalburg, which seems kind of asinine. There's stuff we can fish up, Slowpoke, Azumarill. None of them really seem like they would shift the balance of power here. It really does seem like the big thing is, like, as long as we can keep Trick Room from going up, which, like I said, we've got Berserker outspeeding and using Taunt to prevent Trick Room from going up in the first place. And then we either hit a Metal Claw into them struggling and get the 2-shot if they choose to stay in, or they switch out, we chip something, and we switch around. And then the concern is, like, yeah, the big concern is what happens if... I think, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they almost certainly switch into a Alolan Golem. And we do, let's say, 15%, right? We do 15% to them. Then, and we have, like, either a Carbink that's, like, heavily damaged or not damaged at all. Kind of nerve-wracking in either event. They switch in a Alolan Golem. We hit him for about at 15%, and then we switch out to Swampert, and they probably try to use Earthquake. We switch out to Swampert. Swampert gets hit. As long as they don't get crit by Earthquake, we can always stay in, hit a Bulldoze, and then kill on the, second turn. And even if we do get crit, we might be able to stay in still. So we don't even have to dodge crit altogether. We just have to dodge, like, the highest high rolls of crit. And even then, we still have a chance. So then what happens if we have switched... If we've switched in Swampert, Carbink's fully healthy, and we've taken out their Alolan Golem. Let's say Carbink comes in and decides to use Trick Room. Well, before it can, we can hit it with a Waterfall to do over half, get that chip done. And then... I imagine, it uses Teleport. It'll outspeed to use Teleport, though. So in that instance, we're doing a Waterfall. Actually, I'd go for Scald. We go for Scald. We'll be outsped, and it'll either switch into Shuckle, who will take around half, or it'll switch into Sudowoodo, who will take even more than half. Then Sudowoodo's in Trick Room, where it wants to be. But we can switch in Chestnut, always, and take the kill. Then let's say Shuckle came in. Trick Room's still up. And let's say the first thing they do, because they can't hurt us if they don't use Power Trick. Let's say they outspeed and use Power Trick. Any of our moves kill at that point. So I think we've got a pretty good line planned. We go with Shuckle. We go with Berserker to start. We hope to meet Golem out of Trick Room with Swampert. And go from there. I think we're... And, the only real thing to be scared of... if they do get Trick Room up, depending on who's in, it could be scary. But even depending on who's in, Chestnut can kind of stall out a lot of Trick Room turns with Spiky Shield and can't get crits, so we can avoid unforeseen things. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Berserker also can't get crits, so Berserker is pretty good into... defensively / offensively decent into both Sudowoodo and Shuckle. So really, we have a good answer to Alolan Golem, and that's really the one fear. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're good to go. And I think, yeah, it really does feel like a kind of silly thing to bring anyone to. I'll bring Ed Asner. In the rare instance where I feel like we can guarantee a certain kind of hit coming out, I don't know, just having Intimidate in there to maybe play around seems like it could be helpful. I don't know. Now, I do think that this is a match where having some Berry Juice insurance is helpful. Berry Juice for Christian Bale. I'd say Berry Juice for Alan Alda seems smart. And then, do we have any other Muscle Band? What does a Muscle Band do to our Metal Claw? Muscle Band. Carbink. Makes it much better. Well, but doesn't really tip the balance at all. Yeah, I don't really think this changes much for any of these matchups. I mean, Chestnut v Sudowoodo, still always a two-shot. It doesn't like make it a one-shot. Raises speed if the user misses due to accuracy. Switches out the foe if they hit the holder. Is there an instance where we want that to happen here? I don't think so. Big Root. Ooh, Big Root on Arboliva could be really good, actually. What does that look like here? So if we had Arboliva on the field... Big Root. Still does not... Really? Okay, that's weird. It's not changing the damage output at all on Sudowoodo. Wouldn't it? Isn't that the whole thing? Boost the power of HP stealing moves? This isn't like, this isn't factoring in at all. That's really strange. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to her. I think that makes sense. Quick Claw. Who do we like for the Quick Claw? Yeah, maybe Michael B. Jordan. I don't see a better item for... Improves the critical hit rate. Bright Powder. Who are we the most afraid of getting hit? Probably Swampert, but King's Rock is interesting. Let's just... There's literally no reason not to just like hook one of these up with with something else. We'll go... No, let's go Quick Claw on Nicole Kidman and Bright Powder on Michael B. Jordan. And just hope Masquerain never comes to the party. All right. Damn. This one's a little nerve-wracking. I feel pretty confident, but I don't feel 100% at all. There's just a lot that can happen once we taunt this Carbink. This music is accurately portraying my anxiety right now. Come on, guys. Jesus Christ, this fucking computer charger. Okay. We're plugged in. We always go taunt. Now I feel like... Okay, he wanted to use Teleport right away. It didn't even try to use Trick Room, did it? Yeah. That's really interesting. Now here's what I want to know. Do we, at -2 defense, kill a Alolan Golem with a... Yeah, we do. So maybe Screech... Yeah, you know what? Maybe Screech is better than Metal Claw. We're going to go for it. Ooh, they stayed in. Are they going to struggle? Because now a Metal Claw should always kill. Would be my guess. Yeah, okay. Especially after struggle recoil. Take this Metal Claw. Boom. We prevent Trick Room. That should really be all we really need to do to prevent us from dying. I want to see, you know, we can't get crit. We've got 92 HP, which means we have 89% of our HP left, which means a max roll Earthquake can kill from this range. So we'll switch out, play it safe. Yeah. As long as this doesn't crit, we can always stay in. Perfect. Hit this Bulldoze. And we can never die to any of the crits. The most this can do is like 55%. We've got well over that. Perfect. Berry Juice puts us that much more back into the game, and doesn't really even matter what we hit. Any of our super effective moves would kill from this range. So that's one of the scarier guys for sure. The next scariest guy is probably Sudowoodo. Yeah, this thing almost certainly wants to hit Woodhammer because it is a guaranteed one-hit KO. So between, doesn't have recoil, but it does have a Life Orb. It'll take hefty. It'll take a little chip, rather, and we always switch in Alan Alda. Woodhammer. It's not going to do much. Yeah. Life Orb chip. I'd say the thing we want to account for is, like, what if it swaps into Sudowoodo right now? What does the most damage? Seed Bomb or Rock Tomb? There's no reason to worry about slowing Shuckle down, so Rock Tomb. But Rock Tomb is guaranteed a little more on the minimum roll than Seed Bomb is. But they're comparable, and we want to hit this Sudowoodo if they do stay in, so we'll just hit Seed Bomb. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't switch, but thought it was worth looking at. Alright, this thing will hit. Miss! Oh, big miss on your part. That's really too bad, Sudowoodo. Yeah, again, it doesn't really matter what we hit here. Now, Shuckle, we're not going to do a Spiky Shield. We're just going to go straight into Rock Tomb's guarantee a little more damage. Ooh, with the crit. The speed drop doesn't really matter, but it literally can't kill unless it uses Power Trick. Like, there's just, like, nothing it can do. Power Trick. And we are always faster. It doesn't have any priority moves. Hold on a sec. I want to see what this berry just did. It looked like it raised its attack. Lychee berry. Lychee. Raises attack by how much? Lychee raises attack how much? 1 stage. Okay. So their attacks at +1 before they swapped it out to their defense, so the defense is a little higher. Like, what's plus 1.15? So the defense would be 1.5 of 23 if I'm doing this math right, which would make it 44.5, right? We'll run that up to 45. Which I don't even know if I'm doing that calculation right, but yeah, even still, we always outspeed and kill with any of our moves. And even if its attack is swapped to, let's see here, 199, it can still never kill from this range. So we just, yeah, we hit. Rock Tomb is still the most guaranteed damage. Yeah, and we win. Yeah. Boom. All right. 2 out of 3 of Roxanne's trainers down. Whew. That one was a little scarier. Not gonna lie, but we got out of there really safe. I'm gonna go ahead and take everyone's items so we can kind of start fresh and always know what we're looking at. Oh, another thing I wanted to start doing is just saving before each new battle. Just because I spent a little time on the Discord, and it does seem like people have run into bugs and soft lock stuff, and I guess I just want to be in a position to, you know, have a glitch clause, so to speak, for this run, and if we do suffer from an incorrect information, a move not working correctly, and that kind of thing, that we get a legitimate chance to fight the fight with the correct information. Because this is a heavy planning game. You know, this is a heavy planning, heavy strategy, plan your line style game. I'm not the kind of streamer that's, like, gonna let bad information affect the course of my run. You know what I mean? Like, this is supposed to be well documented exactly for the purpose of being able to plan, like, strong, thought out lines. And so it just doesn't make sense to me to like, I'm not throwing for content. Let's just put it that way. If a glitch occurs, or if I get hit with some incorrect information, then we're going to deal with that. Okay. I feel like I remember this last guy being the hardest one. Alright, yeah. Right off the bat, we've got Toxic Debris, Sticky Barb, Glimmet, with Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock Spikes, and Sticky Web. We've got another Toxic Spikes user with Marini. And those are all the hazards setters. We're also looking at Flying Gym, Acrobatics, Minior, Strength Sap, Will-O-Wisp, Ancient Power, Calm Mind, Galarian Corsola, and Stored Power, Iron Defense. Not to mention Shell Smash on that Minior. This is a threatening team. This is not. This will not be free. Next trainer. Okay. But we do have. Yeah. Damn. I was really hoping Swampert would outspeed. She does not. She does not outspeed. Let's do a full inventory type thing here. Larry, you're gonna be our placeholder. RIP to you, but you know. We only have one poison type. So, like, absorbing toxic spikes seems like a challenge, certainly. Do flying poison types get rid of toxic spikes? Damn, that was my fear. You have to have a grounded poison type. Shit, that is scary. Well, it seems like conflicting. No, it seems like, yeah, it seems like having a flying poison type is just bad luck. In this instance. Damn, that sucks. Well, we have a guaranteed one-shot into Glimmet with Swampert. Then what is scary after that? We have a guaranteed one-shot into Minior, who can outspeed and crit Flying Gym. It is possible to kill. They'd have to get the highest high roll of crit with the Flying Gym acrobatics to kill. But we can one-shot with Waterfall if we stay in. Marini goes down to 2 Bulldozes. Maybe gets off a second Toxic Spikes before we can take it out, but we are faster. Galarian Corsola, that's a scarier one. Now, I think that, fuck, damn. We're slower than our, like, I'm thinking about, like, trying to taunt the Glimmet. It's pretty stupid. No, I mean, that doesn't save us. This is not an easy fight. Wow. Wow. Lunatone's weirdly fast. Galarian Corsola. What do we even do to that? We could always try to go back and pick up a dark type from Petalburg. There's a guaranteed dark type in the grass. None of them looked very good. Super Fang can't affect it. It's a ghost type. None of our Pokemon really seem to do shit to this thing. Wow. Like, the hardest hit I've found so far is Arboliva Mega Drain 27% max roll. That's fucking wild, honestly. I think this is a Garganacl. Job for Garganacl, actually. Because we can tank Ancient Powers, we can't get burned because of Purifying Salt. Strength Sap could get a little tricky, but, like, we Salt Cure and then we just wait. You know, like, we Salt Cure and then we can try to hit Rock Slides in the meantime and do our best. So, yeah, I think this is... Garganacl also shouldn't get poisoned by the spikes, now that I'm thinking about it. Purifying Salt, Toxic Spikes. Yeah, I think Garganacl will be safe from the Toxic Spikes, so that's something. We could also venture to pre-status some Pokemon that could be helpful, like if we burn Deborah Winger to save her from the chance of Toxic Spikes, then we can come in and start hitting priority Mega Drains into Lunatone. That'll do good damage. Does well over half a Mega Drain. We can do... so that's a good answer into Lunatone, a pre-burned. It also does quite a bit of damage into Marini, actually. weirdly enough. And then this Venoshock can't do shit to us if we're burnt. Can't Toxic, it would just do Venoshock and Hydro Pump. Venoshock does at most with a crit. Oh, crit does way more. What is the... It must be this ability. Merciless? Attacks become critical hits if the target is poisoned. Well, there you go. Then you would just have to get like a natural thing. So yeah, we'll pre-burn Arboliva. And that takes care of... That does very well into both Marini and Lunatone. Garganacle's our answer into Corsola. Then we just need an answer into this Minior. This thing's a little scary. I mean, a Shell Smash would certainly be something to think about, but even with a Shell Smash, Berserker should be able to come in and handle this, actually. Two-shot with Metal Claw, Fake Out. I mean, yeah. And that's at +2. So, yeah, at +2. Wait, at +2 with the Flying Gem. What does that look like? Because if we're coming in on the Shell Smash. Yeah. Okay. So we can absorb. So either we can come in and absorb the acrobatics at neutral with the Flying Gem. It does at most 40.7. Then if it sets up a Shell Smash on the next turn, its defenses will go down and we can one-shot it with the Metal Claw. If it doesn't set up the Shell Smash and goes for another acrobatics, it will do considerably less. Yeah, so Berserker handles Minior. We lead Swampert. Berserker handles Minior. Arboliva pre-burned handles Marini and Lunatone. Ideally, we really don't seem to take that hard of hits from either of them. Yeah, this Lunatone does very, very little to us. And then Garganackle Salt Cures and just kind of lets the strength stats happen. Ancient Power, Calm Mind stuff while we try to hit off Rock Slides and stuff. Okay, so this is the main three. Or plus Berserker. Where is Berserker? My bad. Berserker is very much so not in Stovecore. So these are the main four. And then I think some other guys that could end up being helpful. Honestly, Lapras probably could be helpful here. Like Frost Breath into Marini stuff. We can pre-burn Lapras as well, and then we have Charm to work with against Minior even maybe. Does pretty decent damage to Lunatone with Brine. Minior can only do so much to us either. Power Gem doesn't do that much, and Frost Breath comes really close to the kill, so we definitely bring Lapras as well. And then I feel like the flimsiest plan I have right now is having Arboliva take care of both Marini and Lunatone, but if we pre-burn both Arboliva and Lapras, we can keep both of them safe from Marini, and then whichever one is maybe in better shape, if they need to be, can take care of Lunatone. So that seems all well and good. What's Kate Hudson do to the Marini? can one-shot. Doesn't get hit very hard. We don't want to pre-poison. Can we pre-para? I mean, that seems kind of silly. Wow. What if we pre-burned and then Rostberry so that if we come in on the switch, we don't get poisoned? That should work. Yeah, that's a backup plan anyway. This is a squad. I think this can do it. I feel like this works. Ugh. You know, I don't... It's not like a 100% safe line per se, but I do think more or less, like, I'm not seeing any scenarios aside from, like, insane setup, runaway stuff. I mean, we have, like, Frost Breath to get around stuff, and if they're setting up, then they're not damaging us, which means we can... I don't know, I think this works. I think this does work. So let's go get our status conditions applied at our local Poke Center. This is what we want to do. We want to burn Deborah. We want to burn Gary. And we want to burn Kate Hudson. And then we'll go ahead and... I think the people I most want to have healing items are Henry, Nicole, and Deborah. No, Deborah doesn't need it, actually. Let's give one to Gary. God damn it. We'll fix that. Take item, take, and then let's give a Rostberry, as mentioned, to boom, 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 and then Deborah will give the big root, and I think that does us pretty well. I think that does us pretty well. Now, hold on. Is there something... Do we have, like, hold item, ups critical hits. Yeah, there's nothing we have that, like, ups speed. No. I was thinking if we had, like, a bear... No, I still don't think that would work. This is, I think, our best bet. And you know what? Just for the sake of argument, I think we give a Pecha Berry to... Swampert, Christian Bale. I think this is good. I think this is as good as it's gonna get. Whew, I'm anxious. Anybody else anxious? No one else is here. That's fine. You don't have to be here. That's not why I'm playing. I'm not playing for people to be here. I'm playing because I want to play. Okay. We always do Bulldoze. Bulldoze is a non-contact move, so we won't pick up the Sticky Barb or anything, and we will always one-shot. At most, what we're going to be looking at is 2 layers of Toxic Spikes, or Spikes, Stealth Rocks, Spikes, Toxic Spikes, regular Spikes, or Sticky Web, possibly. I'm hoping they don't hit Sticky Web, but I don't think that would really change much. Stealth Rock, less than ideal for Lapras, but ultimately not that impactful for anyone else. And it keeps us from badly poisoned risk. I don't know. Something. We get 1 Stealth Rock, 1 Toxic Spike. That's what we have up. Stealth Rock. Where's the Toxic Spikes? That's weird. Okay. Minior. Max roll Minior Acrobatics Flying Gem crit. Like, it's a range from 57.6%. Oh, sorry, I should let this play out. Wait. Form. Minior Meteor. Minior Meteor. That's the form that it's in, actually, right? I think we stay in and hit Waterfall. We're at full health. We're actually not at risk of that acrobatics crit like I thought, because they were showing me Minior regular form, like the shields down version. Minior Meteor form. Let me just make sure that that's what I'm looking at. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. Okay. So then we stay in and we hit a waterfall. Might even be smarter to try to hit the Scald, because we'd be going for a 2-hit KO regardless. If it uses acrobatics this turn, the most it can do with the crit is 69.6%. If it goes for any other move, it's going to hardly do any damage unless it does Shell Smash, in which case it guarantees us the one-shot with a Waterfall. Does it guarantee us the one-shot with a Scald? No. So we hit Waterfall. We stay in. We hit Waterfall. That is the plan. Yeah, we always live this. Pretty fucking sure. Okay. That does a pretty penny. Now it's in shields down mode. So now it's stronger. Okay. But it no longer has a flying gem. So its acrobatics input goes up, but this is where Nicole Kidman comes in, who will take barely any damage from Stealth Rock. And an acrobatics can only do so much. Yeah. We are at 70 out of 103. 68% of our health. We literally never die, and a Metal Claw always kills. We hit Metal Claw. Boom. God, I love not being able to get crit. It's so fucking awesome. The berry juice was unnecessary, probably. But okay. Marini. Marini can hit us for pretty good damage with a Hydro Pump if it hits. But the most it can do is 24%. We have well over that. I think we are faster than it. Is there anyone that really is at risk of getting toxic? Oh, whoa. Did I heal? Oh my god. Did I healed the status? Why aren't they burnt? Oh, fuck, dude. That's bad. It's not the end of the world. It's kind of pretty bad, though. We taunt is what we'll do. Okay, that's good. So we can at least prevent the bad poisoning. And then... yeah, Christian Bale can come in here and... well... not really, not well. We hit a Screech now. They're at -2. This Hydro Pump does not all that much damage. Now we can bring Christian Bale in, who is always safe to crit. And with the Screech, we'll always one-shot with a Bulldoze. The Petra Berry will heal the poison. Still always safe to Hydro Pump crit, even with the Stealth Rock damage. Taunt War off. Definitely they aren't going to want to switch out. This Bulldoze will kill. Okay. Damn it. The fucking no burn is really bumming me out, but that is okay. Lunatone. Lunatone, Lunatone, Lunatone. It is time to bring in Arboliva. That was always the idea here, because Arboliva Mega Drains go hard. And they don't have Calm Mind, so they don't have special defense raising abilities. So we'll come in, we'll take a little Stealth Rock, we'll get poisoned. We were already going to be burned, so it doesn't really change much. Ancient Power, can't do that much. Fucking Omni Boost. Of course you get an Omni Boost. Of course. Okay, +1 to everything. +1 to everything. Oh my god, that makes this stored power really fucking grimy. But Mega Drain is no longer a guaranteed 2-shot, but it still does pretty good damage. And should heal us out. Oh my god, the crit, Deborah! You're a fucking angel. You are a fucking angel. That's amazing. Oh my god. That stored power did a lot more than this calc said, but that does not matter because Deborah fucking Winger just landed the crit of a lifetime. Oh my god, that was lucky. That was so fucking lucky. Oh my god, dude. And Henry Fonda comes in, resists Stealth Rock damage, can't be burnt, can't be poisoned. Ancient Power does fuck all and does not get the Omni Boost this time. You know, you can say we got lucky with the crit, but they got the fucking Omni Boost, which is the only reason that the stored power ended up being scary at all. So they got good luck, and then we got good luck in response. I don't even feel like that crazy about it. We just get the Salt Cure out of the way, get that done. Whew. Okay, Salt Cure is disabled, not worried about it. Oh my god, dude. They used a Calm Mind, +1/+1. Does Mudshot slow them down or lower accuracy? In either event, it could be helpful. Reduces speed, so we'll hit one Mudshot, and then we can start trying to hit Rock Slides. We're still not really okay. The Ancient Powers still just don't hit that hard, and we can't be statused. Purifying Salt goes crazy, honestly. Speed Fell, Salt Cure. Okay. So, yeah, like at some point they're going to start hitting. We're at +2/+2. They're going to start hitting Strength Saps, but we might get lucky with these flinches. Probably could have put a King's Rock on Henry Fonda here. That could have been the play. So this first Strength Sap, we'll do a pretty penny of healing. Yeah. We're still really pretty safe to these Ancient Powers, from what I can see. And we still outspeed. So I'd say even with the attack drop, like, the play is to just kind of stay in and hit Rock Slides, try to avoid these Calm Minds. Strength Saps will become progressively less damaging. Salt Cure will still keep going off. Does Salt Cure, like, stack? I don't think Salt Cure stacks. I think it basically... Okay, Curse Body. Not ideal, but... Hopefully we can avoid these Omni Boosts. It's a crit. Don't like that. Good call on the Berry Juice here. The Berry Juice here is actually good and helpful. Now we're in a place where a crit could maybe even, like, seal the deal for us. And they are running out of Ancient Power PP. Oh, damn. Yeah, good point. Well, Salt Cure is no longer... Whatever, we'll just go with what we have. I imagine they're probably gonna Strength Sap again. Yeah, but it should heal considerably less, I would think, this second time. Okay, yeah, that's definitely less. Still disabled, -2 attack now. Salt Cure is the most damage we can output at this moment. Strength Saps again. We're kind of in a little silly dance here. Again, like, there was nothing we really had available to us that could do that much damage to this guy. Stick with Salt Cure. Hope we land a crit at some point. That would be super helpful. Yeah, hope they waste turns like that. And disable no more. That's what we want to see. We start hitting these rock slides again. Flinch. That's great. Flinch and crits. That's what we're hoping for. Flinch and crits. So the Berry Juice was better than the King's Rock. Crit. Yes. Okay. Yes. And the flinch. And we put them out of their misery. That was quite the fight. That was a fight. Hiker Markster, you are not to be trifled with. That was not free. Woof. That was the healing the burns. I can't believe I did that. Like, I'm kind of... I don't know. Now comes the really hard part. And that's Roxanne. I almost feel like... conflicted about even doing this planning on stream. But we will. One thing we know for sure already, one thing I have already firmly established, is that our Chestnut with a max attack IV and an adamant nature is a guaranteed one-shot on her lead Tyranitar. We outspeed and one-shot. Very exciting, honestly. Really, really helps kind of dwindle the board down a little bit. In my experience playing casually, what tends to happen after getting Tyranitar off the field is Zygarde comes out. Zygarde's got this Dragon Tail bullshit to deal with. Like, that's kind of annoying. Skittersmack Extreme Speed lands Wrath. What does Ribombee look like? Extreme Speed hurts quite a bit, but we're immune to Dragon Tail. We take very little damage from Skittersmack or Lance Wraith. Dazzling Gleam, that's quite the range. Why is it 49 to 60%? Sand is up. Definitely sand is up. That is a good thing to make sure is established here. Sand is up in the Chestnut. Yeah, we always kill with the Brick Break. Always one shot with the Brick Break. Okay, I'm gonna get some water. And before I do that, let's do this. I'm gonna move everyone around so we can take a really good look at what we have to bring into this fight. Again, Larry David is our only dead Mon so far. So we'll just put him in the party so we can get a good look of everything we have to work with. We still have 2 encounters available to us. if we truly feel like we don't have a line here. But keep an eye on this, and I'll be right back. Alright. So, what I think it's time to look into is, Toast, there's not, God, no, Toast. Do not get on. I'm sorry, there's not room. I don't want you on the keyboard, that's crazy. Okay, so I think what we want to do now is we want to look on Discord and hold on a sec. I want to see if anyone has any insight into the Switch AI. Because this is a fight I've done almost none of in my casual runs. Post KO Switch AI priority order. AI looks at top roll. Okay, so if the AI has a fast kill, that's the top priority. If the AI has a slow kill, second priority. Oh, hold on. Guys, this is a very active Discord, and one of the things that ends up doing is that whenever I'm in it trying to search something... Okay, here it is. Let's screenshot this. AI is faster and number of hits to kill is lower than players, or AI is considering ditto. Not a thing. AI is slower and number of hits to kill is lower than players. AI is faster. Default, and then at the very last is an AI that is fast killed by the player. Okay. That is all very helpful information. We should be able to start predicting some stuff from there. So, does anybody have a fast kill on Chestnut? Zygarde's the fastest. And then Aerodactyl, it'll be reading its base form. Does not have a fast kill with wing attack unless it crits. It can't crit. Mega Aerodactyl does have a one shot. Damn. Mega Aerodactyl is scary as hell. Very scary Mega. So, no one has a fast kill. No one has a slow kill. AI is faster, and number of hits to kill is lower than players. So that would be Aerodactyl, I would think. Because it is faster, and it would only take... Well, because if it's reading my high rolls as well, then we both take 2 turns to kill. So, AI is faster. The only ones that are faster are Aerodactyl and Zygarde. Zygarde takes... Slower number of hits to kill is lower than the players. Zygarde kills with max roll 5 shots. We kill with max roll 4 shots. I mean, from the base form, then it'll be Zygarde complete, and that kind of changes things a little. But not much. Scary thing is Dragon Tail. So I gotta think we kill Tyranitar. Based on this information, Aerodactyl comes out. It Mega Evolves. And it wants to hit Wing Attack. I gotta think that's what happens. In any event, Aerodactyl comes out. We can hit Spiky Shield. Get that chip in after it's Mega Evolved. Then... we have like a range to live with Lapras. If we come in with Lapras, get hit with a Wing Attack. How much is 20 HP? What's the percentage? That's 14%. I was thinking like Frost Breath might be... Well, we come in with Lapras on a Wing Attack. We usually die to a Rock Tomb afterwards. Like, we always die to 2 Rock Tombs. But my thinking is, what if we can start charming this guy? Wing Attack. Wing Attack, Rock Tomb, Earthquake, Ancient Power. 2 Rock moves, a Ground move, and a Flying move. How does Swampert stand up to this thing? Swampert actually... I mean, he has to dodge crits. But without crits... we never die to a 2-shot. We can get off a Waterfall. Doesn't really save us. Let's see here. Rock Tomb, Wing Attack, Earthquake, Ancient Power. Rock Tomb, Earthquake, Wing Attack, Ancient Power. Like, I just don't know. I feel like it's really hard to predict these Pokemon's move. I feel like PP stalling is something that this game feels very deliberately like it's gone to the trouble of, like, preventing you from being able to do. Scald is a 2-shot if Sandstorm's down, but we don't have any way of changing the weather, unfortunately. I think the thing to do is we come in with Swampert on the Wing Attack. And then we hit Waterfall. I mean, we stay in and we try to hit Waterfall. What if our attack IV was even kind of good? I'm curious. That wouldn't change things that much. We hit Waterfall. Damn. We also have the red card to think about. I wish we could get like an air balloon or something. We do have our red card. That's something I feel like should and could come up. Let's take a look. I've got my Pokemon in front of me. Let's take a look at our bag items. So, weakens a normal move. I don't really see that coming up in this fight. I don't think anybody has a significant... Oh, extreme speed Zygarde. What if we have the Chillin' Berry on Ribombee? We come in, we eat a Dragon Tail if it tries to do a Dragon Tail. We hit... A Dazzling Gleam is like, literally we would have to get the minimum roll twice in a row for it to not guarantee a 2-shot. Basically, the minimum roll is 49%. Well, that's when it's not in its complete form. Okay, we never get a 2-shot once it's in its complete form, actually. When does it enter complete form, actually? Hold on a sec. This could be low-key perfect. DB. Zygarde complete form. How does this work? I know it's once it's lost a certain amount of HP, but how much HP? How much HP Zygarde complete? No, this is not answering my question. Transformation. When its HP drops below 50%. Damn, I wish it was a little lower than that. Like if it was like 30%, we'd be big chillin'. Okay, well then the tasks. Because if we can get Zygarde to not go into its complete form, that would be tight. Okay, now this is where it looks like Lapras would actually get a chance to shine. Lapras can almost always get the 1-shot with Frost Breath, and even if it doesn't, we could then take the 1-shot. We could, well, no, it's so it goes into complete. We should still be able to like take the 1-shot with another Frost Breath and live anything that it can do to us. Even if we like switch in, the worst thing that could happen is like 3 Land's Wraths. Dragon Tail can't really hurt us. That's Zygarde. Zygarde and Lapras seem like they should take care of each other. We have an answer to Tyranitar. We don't even have to think about Tyranitar, basically. Soul Rock. Bulldoze is a pain in the ass. Masquerain. I feel like Masquerain comes as like an intimidate / soft sacrifice type thing. Wow. Looks like Arboliva should be able to handle this Omastar really easily. Especially if we come with an Asper Berry or pre-scalded, we just 2-shot with Mega Drains. I think we come pre-status. That way we don't run the risk of getting Ice Beam twice and getting frozen twice. I mean, it's super unlikely, but become status seems like the better call. So burnt Arboliva. So Chess, Tyran, Soul Rock. We need a solution to. Zygarde, Lapras for Zygarde. Arbo for Oma Star. Aerodactyl seems like it's going to be kind of maybe a mix. Let's go Swampert. Let's say Masquerain is part of that as well. Swampert, Mask. So with that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 5 guys on the team with 2 other people to take care of. And one of the things to keep in mind here is that Chestnut has nothing to lose going on. It has 1 chip of Sandstorm is what it'll take for taking out Tyranitar. Now let's see, what does Chestnut do to this Cradily? Cradily does very little to us, and Brick Break goes pretty crazy, actually. Even after a stockpile, Brick Break does minimum 60, and then it does minimum 40. So even after a stockpile, Brick Break 2 shots, guaranteed 2 shot. So I think Chestnut is the answer into Laleep as well. So then we just want something to kind of contend with this Soul Rock. In which case, we're dealing with Bulldoze, Ancient Power, Psycho Cut. And what do we think looks good into this? I mean, maybe Garganacl. No, those Bulldozes would stack up. Bulldoze. Do we have anything? We were thinking about Ribombee. Signal Beam. The Psycho Cut goes kind of crazy into Ribombee, unfortunately. That's a pretty big hit. Signal Beam does pretty good damage, but still, that's kind of a lot. Yeah, what do we have? I mean, we don't have a good plan for this Aerodactyl. I mean, that's for sure. That's another thing that we are not. Don't have a good plan for this. Berserker can come out, fake out, minimum 5% damage. Then we try to get off a Screech. And a Metal Claw will do a lot of damage, but it won't kill. We are slower. We'll be even slower after the Bulldoze that inevitably comes out, but we could also anticipate the Bulldoze and switch into Masquerain. Get that -1 going. Then they want to hit Ancient Power into Masquerain. We switch back into Berserker, get another Fake Out. Survive a -1 Bulldoze. So yeah, Masquerain, Berserker looks like it can kind of solve for Soul Rock. And that's, let's see, I mean, like, what is... I mean, Chestnut versus Soul Rock looks pretty crazy, honestly. Like, Seed Bomb kind of does quite a bit of damage. How much does Muscle Band increase damage? Muscle Band, how much increase? Damage by 10%. Damage bonus. I'm not getting a clear answer here. And it doesn't really affect, it doesn't really seem to affect the damage calc here when I, oh, it did that time. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, oh man. Muscle Band. Oh, we got a guaranteed one-shot into Almost Star there. That's interesting. Arboliva into Mega Aerodactyl. I imagine that thing pretty much always kills. Yeah, it does. A lot of damage with that wing attack. Not with anything else, though. I mean, Rock Tomb hurts a little. Man, that Mega Aerodactyl, I just don't have a great answer at all. Masquerain, we get the -1. And if we can bait it into like Ancient Power or Earthquake, then we'll live. We gotta hope the Ancient Power doesn't... At -1, Lapras does some pretty hefty damage into this thing, actually. We can survive 2 Rock Tombs. Oh, man. So here's kind of where I'm at. Let's look at all these items. Leftovers, so yeah, we legitimately... Okay, we got a weakness policy on Soul Rock. That's a little scary. That is a little scary. We don't have anything that one-shots the Soul Rock. But what we do have is... If we put the Muscle Band on Chestnut, we can guarantee the 2-shot by hitting with something that it's regular effective, not super effective, and then hitting Seam Bomb. We can survive some Psycho Cuts. But we... God, to survive Psycho Cuts, we would need to Intimidate. So Soul Rock's scary. Zygarde's kind of scary. Almost Star and Cradily become scary if Chestnut is not in good shape to go up against them. She wouldn't be if we get unlucky with Soul Rock. So if we do Soul Rock and -1, even if it crits, it goes crazy on the Masquerain, but it doesn't kill. So we can always get that Intimidate off, and then it can't crit Chestnut, obviously, and at -1, we can survive 2 of them, hit our Rock Tomb, hit our Seed Bomb. Just hope it doesn't go crazy with the Morning Sun or the Ancient Power or the Bulldoze. God damn it. And then we just dedicate the lives, possibly, of like Swampert, Lapras. What does Garganacl look like up against Mega Aerodactyl? Not good, but also not that bad. Especially if we can Intimidate it, then it can come in on Earthquake and survive another one usually, and we can get Assault Cure off for decent damage and start getting that chip in. Maybe we can get another Intimidate in and start switching in other guys. Huh. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. This doesn't have Berserker on it. Berserker has some arguments for it, certainly. I mean, taunting the Soul Rock, but I do think maybe Garganacl is better. Straight up. Maybe Garganacl is just a better bring to this. Specifically for Aerodactyl, I mean, I really do think this looks kind of promising. Wish we had like a Lucky Chant user. I don't think I left Lucky Chant on anyone, or had it in the first place, but let's look. Because Lucky Chant lasts the whole battle, right? No, it doesn't look like I do. Yeah. What does Hitmonchan versus Aerodactyl look like? We always die to wing attack, and neither of our elemental punches really do that much, so it's not, that's not a solution. So right now the team is kind of looking like and a little bit here's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that there's literally no reason to bring Noibat. I mean, Tailwind. The big thing that we don't outspeed is Aerodactyl. I mean, everything else is relatively slow except for Zygarde here. But I don't think a Tailwind is making our Lapras outspeed. No, it's definitely not. So Tailwind doesn't really do anything. So that's a never bring. Super Fang's kind of tempting for Solrock. But I imagine it fucks us up with a Psycho Cut. Yeah, I mean, it could kill us in one shot, potentially. Any crit kills. Any Psycho Cut kills. So that's like a never bring. This is one that really kind of, I can only see it making sense for Zygarde a little bit. Like, if it starts getting like Dragon Tail happy, but a little bit, I just feel like that's not a good enough reason to bring it. Like, especially, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. What, maybe we get off like a Stun Spore and then switch in Lapras? This would be an alternative to bringing the one that's up in the air is Garganacl, I guess. But Garganacl, between Garganacl and Swampert, I think it will be kind of valuable / important low-key to have multiple angles to take care of the Aerodactyl, to have two Pokemon work together to do that, because it's a really fast, really scary Pokemon. And I don't see any of these other Pokemon being in good enough shape after what I'm planning on doing with them to help with that. So that feels more important than, like, Dragon Tail prevention, I guess. But I do see how that could get out of hand really quickly. Let me double check something real quick. Lapras v Zygarde, right? Okay, that's kind of interesting. We could, in theory, guarantee that it doesn't enter its 100% form if we do an Ice Shard into a Frost Breath. Unless Ice Shard crits, then it would always go into complete form. In which case, Frost Breath should always kill from there, but I don't know. Okay. I do think this is the team. Now, there's no status to be aware of. There's nothing that can status on any of this except for Ice Beam from Omastar. So we will pre-burn Arboliva. That'll be, but that's the only status. And burn from Scald, but we're not worried about that into Arboliva here. I do think the Big Root, though, is tempting. Big Root is tempting. It wasn't registering earlier. Yeah, Big Root is not registering like an increase in damage, and that doesn't feel accurate. Big Root. Oh, it increases the amount of HP restored. Is that being calculated? No, not even that is being calculated. So that feels whatever. So Big Root doesn't seem like the play. I feel like, honestly, maybe oh, this goes pretty good into Soul Rock, actually. And it's another charm user. Oh, damn. I think this is the team. We can deal with held items in a second. We know we're leading. We know what our lead is. We're firm on Chestnut lead. Ooh, this is scary. But yeah, I feel like we've got a pretty firm, like, here's where we're like firm on. There's never a reason to bring any of these four. There's almost no reason to bring this. Light Screen has very little utility into this team, and Thunder Wave doesn't seem particularly helpful for the level of vulnerability. Like, the only thing we'd really be interested in slowing down is Aerodactyl, which would one-shot us with an Earthquake, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, literally every Earthquake roll one-shots. So another one where, like, the utility of, like, Yawn and Rapid Spin, they don't have Stealth Rock. That's an interesting thing. They're not planning on using Stealth Rock. So, and I'm doing all these calcs with Sandstorm up, right? If Sandstorm goes down, doesn't that decrease the special defense of Rock-type Pokemon? Yeah, if Sandstorm goes down before Omastar's out, Mega Drain becomes a one-shot. It becomes a guaranteed two-shot into Soul Rock, so we just gotta play around Sandstorm. No one else can set it up, but yeah, literally Tyranitar's the only thing that can set up Sandstorm. So yeah, I mean, this is an Everbring. This one doesn't make a lot of sense either. It doesn't have a lot of utility into things we would want it to have utility into. And it's vulnerable to the stuff that it would hit the hardest, like, I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't do enough damage into anyone. If we had, like, a punch physical, like, a punching fighting move, it might be better, but we only have low sweep, which doesn't use the Iron Fist ability at all. And then this is the one that I'm like, maybe we coulda, shoulda bring it, but it kind of, it seems a little asinine. Like, mostly we would be wanting to do, like, if there was, like, a more necessary taunt to do, it might make more sense. If Metal Claw was Iron Head, but it's not. We've got two Pokemon immune to Sandstorm, and they're the two Pokemon that we would be sending out into the Mega Aerodactyl, which I'm thinking will come out against the Chestnut. I think this is the team. Now, this very well might be where we lose this run. But, yeah, it's time to think about some stuff. So we want to... First, we're going to heal. And then we're going to status. Burn. Deborah. Okay. Deborah is burned. Now, let's look at other held item stuff. Move items. Bag that. Berry juice. We'll bag that for now. We got the big root on Deborah. Okay, so I think berry juice is the thing, like getting some just good healing is the thing that makes the most sense. Hold item that improves the critical hit rate, huh? Does Seed Bomb have an upped critical hit rate? I don't think it does. No additional effect, yeah. I don't think any move on the squat increases critical hits. Frost Breath is guaranteed. This thing's not attacking, probably almost at all. It'll be very few and far between if it does. Yeah, no. So it seems like a kind of fool's errand to hold item to cast the glare to reduce accuracy. Honestly, yeah, on our Intimidate user, that actually kind of makes a weird amount of sense. I do think Henry Fonda being able to, like, maybe Quick Claw the Quick Claw either Rock Slides or Salt Cure seems pretty big. And then Berry Juice on Gary Oldman seems important. Also on Christian Bale, possibly. And Alan Alda? God damn, guys. I don't see safe lines. I don't see a safe line. And I think I'm under cooking. Quite possibly by a lot. This might be really, really dumb to start this fight here, but a little bit I worry about just overthinking at this point, and feel as though this is kind of the best option I have. I'm gonna double check muscle band math here. It doesn't change any one-shots. It doesn't give us any one-shots that we don't already have, and it doesn't change any two-shots to one-shots or anything. Like, it doesn't shift the balance significantly enough. I think we just gotta do it. I'm gonna need something a little more intense than this. All right, here we go. Let's save for the glitch policy of it all. Obviously, Masquerain is probably our, like, agreed upon sacrifice if it comes to that, but oh my god. No going back. No going back. Wait. Hold on. There might be going back. Why isn't Deborah Winger burnt? I fully remember burning her. Okay, so we're rewinding real quick. I'm going to count that as a glitch policy thing. Okay, what? We can't why is the pre-statusing not working? No pre-status. for gym. Well, that's the information. We have that information now, so we can go in and. With that being the case, I think we want to put an Aspear Berry onto Deborah. The big root might be better. The big root might still be better. I mean, we're talking about a really slim chance on a freeze. Whereas if we find ourselves in a position where like a triage thing could save us, like especially if we're talking about like, if we talk about Arboliva with the big root, this is really annoying to me. I'm finding this really frustrating, but whatever. Yeah, we'll go Aspear Berry. All right, now there's no turning back. Here we go. Now, what is there like maybe a reason to stay in? And no, it'll set up Stealth Rock if we don't just kill it. We just gotta kill it. And no Stealth Rock. This isn't intense enough either. We might want Season 3. This works. Okay, I had a feeling it might be... Skittersmack, is that a... down special attack, right? Yes. Which Frost Breath gets around and Ice Shard ignores. So Lapras comes in. God damn it. If nothing else, the Dragon Tail stuff lets him get hit with Sticky Barbs while we play out turns of sand. So that's maybe something. Okay, the Skittersmack. This is great. What we want now, lower special attack does not affect us. Frost Breath always crits and ignores the special attack drop. Now what we want to do, we see that Sticky Barb happening. If we can stay in, it probably wants to hit Dragon Breath again. So we don't want to hit Ice Shard willy-nilly. Frost Breath always kills. I mean, this thing is faster than us. It probably wants to hit Dragon Tail again. And when the Sticky Barb gets to a certain point, so you know what? I'm gonna get an attack drop on it and just pray that it hits Dragon Tail again. So we got it at -1. Skittersmack miss. Interesting arrangement. Skittersmack miss. We got it at -1. I think... God damn it. Okay, well, the berry juice is something. We can double intimidate it. No, we don't get an option. That's right. It's random. Now it's going to go into... Oh, it didn't go into complete. I mean, a little bit. It's at -2. I feel pretty empowered to... What happens if the sand... Oh, right, nothing. I feel like if we Draining Kiss... Even if when it goes into its 100% form now... This is -2. Not complete form. It's a crit. Of course it's a crit. Okay, Power Construct. Now it's in complete form. But it's still at -2. Still has the Sticky Barb. And I'd say at most we're looking at like, let's even to be like precautious, it's called 45%. Of course that's fucking Draining Kiss actually seems to heal a lot. Heals more than Skitter Smack should be able to do if it doesn't crit. So this might be a little ill-advised, but I'm gonna stay in. Because we got the Prio with Triage. Okay, that does heal a pretty good amount. Oh, yeah, that's right. Our fucking special attack is down. Okay. Still could be a lot worse. And after Sticky Barb damage, this might do it. Even, especially if we crit. It probably won't after these special attack drops. But after Sticky Barb damage, as long as we don't get crit here... I think that'll take the Zygarde out. Which is... That's big. Okay. And is the sand down? Sand is down. Okay. Okay. Now, weakness policy, right. Is that a +2? Yeah, +2. Let's say we do the Mega Drain, right? We are at 27 out of 111. %. Psycho Cut always kills before healing. If we heal the minimum amount of damage, it takes us up to 38 plus 24 is 62. Which is a range for Psycho Cut to kill even without crit. Fuck. It sees a fast kill with Psycho Cut is where we're at. It sees a fast kill with Psycho Cut. So what... That's kind of interesting. If we do a Draining Kiss... If we do Draining Kiss, Psycho Cut can only kill with a crit. Our fucking special attack is dropped. Okay. So... This thing definitely wants to hit Psycho Cut. What does a -1 Psycho Cut do to Masquerain? Not too much. Then it would want to hit Ancient Power. God damn, dude. Oh, no. We're not doing misclicks. No. No, we're not doing misclicks. Okay. Swampert can often... Swampert does really pretty good into this, actually. A Stomp into a Waterfall or Scald would almost always get us the win. And at most we risk a Psycho Cut crit of 48%. So we can always survive 2 Psycho Cut crits, but then that puts us in a really not good position for Aerodactyl. But we want to be able to... could actually be a lot worse. Ooh, Christian Bale. You know what? Masquerain Switch is what we want to do. I mean, okay, let's think about it like this. What else does Deborah Winger come to? She's a normal type. She's vulnerable to Brawly. She would provide good resistance into Watson, but she's super vulnerable into Flannery. You know, it's kind of a net neutral into... I don't know. She's really good. And her special attack has been dropped twice. So we have to switch out. We have to reset that. If anything, we have to reset that. We're going to Intimidate. I imagine this will be a Psycho Cut. Yeah. Okay. So we predicted that right. Solrock is at -1. And Masquerain is on the field with 62% of his health left at Asner. Or 62 health, 60%. I think... now it wants to hit Ancient Power. Which we can tank. But we cannot survive a crit. And I don't want to deal with that. So, I think then it goes into the plan we had where, why is this doing less now? What happened here? What was I looking at? Why did it look like, did I have crit? Yeah, I had crits up, whatever. That sucks. Okay. We're at -1. We can switch into Christian Bale, who tanks an Ancient Power really well. And then we can get another Intimidate off. And then we'd prevent... yeah. Just like, I just keep coming back to like, how do we keep this safe from Aerodactyl? Let's take another look at Chestnut V. Okay. For this one, actually this makes a lot more sense. We bring Alan Alda in on this Ancient Power. What I hope is an Ancient Power, right? Yes. No Omni Boost. Huge. We Spyco Shield into what should be a Psycho Cut. A -2 Psycho Cut. Or a -2. No. No, it's only at -1. It's only -1. Huh. Psycho Cut is not a contact move, I guess? That's interesting. Well, in any event, we can stay in, hit a Brick Break, take at most like a third from this Psycho Cut, not activate Weakness Policy, and then Berry Juice, that's good. That's honestly great, and then we can guarantee the one-shot from here with Seed Bomb. Okay. 3 out of 6 down. And that's what we were waiting to see. Now, this thing wants to use Wing Attack. And we want to Salt Cure. And as long as we don't get crit, we should be able to, yeah, survive an Earthquake after this switch. We gotta dodge a crit. Take that just fine. We go for Salt Cure. Dodge the crit. Yes, Henry! Yes! Oh, so big. So big. At this range, I feel like it could choose any move to kill. Anything but Wing Attack and Ancient Power kills from this range. So it might hit Rock Tomb, but it's much faster than us. So it might not hit Rock Tomb. Here's where I'm at. We're either risking Swampert. We switch in Swampert. And if this thing hits Earthquake and gets a crit, we're actually always safe to stay in and... Okay, yeah. Swampert. Come on in, Christian Bale. Earthquake. Crit or no, we can stay in on one more. And if only we had Aqua Jet. But, yeah, I mean, let me double check this. Swampert. 82. That's 66%. Earthquake, Wing Attack, Rock Tomb, Ancient Power. All... We're always safe to any crit. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. We just got these fucking fossil Pokemon. The Cradilly and the Omastar. We could be in a lot worse shape, but we could also be in better shape. So let's not count our victory yet. This thing's immune to... This thing almost certainly wants to hit Sand Tomb into us. Or Stockpile. Alan Alda, right? What I feel like... Let's say it does hit Stockpile. Brick Break. It doesn't have Spit Up. It just has Recover. If it doesn't hit Stockpile, then we should always be able to two-shot with Brick Break. If it hits Sand Tomb... I just think this is the play. This is the play. This is the play. Okay, don't get an Omniboost. Yes. Okay. Brick Break. Big damage. Nice big damage. Sand Tomb is perfect. Oh, that's exactly what I want you to use. Leftovers is not going to save you. Okay. It's just us and Omastar. This thing is not... Oh, man. I think we have, like... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Sand Tomb goes down when the Pokemon dies, right? It's not still up. Sand Tomb, Pokemon dies... Okay, hold on. If a trap Pokemon uses Rapid, if the user switches out, the target will be freed. Okay. So yes, Sand Tomb is not up anymore. Here's... I wish I could, like, show you what I'm looking at. We can't get crit. This is... The math is the math. We have battle armor. They have shell armor. They can't get crit either, but that's not the point. Seed Bomb from Alanalda kills 100% of the time. And we're faster. Oh, I thought we were slower. Deathless Roxanne. Deathless Roxanne, first attempt. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. I cannot believe I did that. Deathless Roxanne. Oh my God. Well, that, will do it for today's stream. I'm gonna take the W. Hold on a second. Let's read this text. It looks a little funky. Stone Badge enables your Pokemon to use the HM Cut. Okay, please take this with you too. Contains Ammo 6. It contains Rock Tomb. Team can only be used once. By the way, you look surprised by my Zygarde, is that right? Many years ago, it used to be a legendary Pokemon, but nowadays, many legendaries have reproduced themselves, depriving them of their legendary status. In other words, my Zygarde is actually nothing special, but I will warn you, every gym leader and even some more people possess a Pokemon that used to be a legendary. You are in for some tough matches, but something tells me you will be fine. Good luck in the gym challenge. Oh my God. Guys, anyone watching this, oh, what do we got here? Good fight. As a reward for giving me a good watch, I will tell you Roxanne's secret. She cannot actually control Zygarde very well, unless it is holding the sticky barb to tame it. But if you ask me, Zygarde probably just prefers it to be able to change its form faster. Oh, excuse me, I was babbling too much. Here, take this. Is that cut? I don't think HM6 is cut. It's Rock Smash. Okay. That's fine. Well, Deathless Roxanne. That's what we're going to leave it at for now. I couldn't be happier. That was a lot of fun. It was scary. Edge of my seat stuff. The plan that I laid out wasn't perfect, certainly, and it didn't go the way I was expecting to. Zygarde in particular was kind of touch and go there for a bit. But I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Everyone's alive. And everyone played a part in that win. So, yeah, I don't know. thanks so much for watching whenever you watch, if you ever watch. If you don't, that was never the point anyway. So I appreciate you so much. I will be back Tuesday night. I'll go ahead and schedule that now. I don't think I'll be back before then. We'll be back Tuesday night with another stream. We will pick up from here and have a good time. So take care of yourselves, and thanks for everything. Subscribe, like, it means the world. You could win stuff once I get to 500 subscribers, but we'll